Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. Today we shall read the last part of chapter 7, Lifelines of National Economy. Now I shall present my screen. Okay, we shall read about communication, trade, and tourism. Okay, this will be the last topics of this chapter. So let us read. Before we start, do you know what communication is? I think you may have some idea. Communication is the exchange of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. Okay, so in other words, communication is also referred to the sending and the receiving of messages. Okay, and ever since human beings appeared on the earth, they have used different means of communication, but the pace of change has been in modern times. Okay, so revolution in communication technology was happened in the modern times. Long distance communication is far easier without physical movement of communication or receiver. Okay, so here before we start, let me tell you about the different types of communication mentioned in our book. Okay, so it is presented in this way. Here we have communication, and it can be divided into two types, that is personal communication and mass communication. Okay, so personal communication examples given here: letters, telephones, mobile phones, emails. Okay, so here in this case, the sending and receiving of messages is done only between two persons. Okay, and that is called personal communication. So you will send a letter to your friend, and your friend will receive it and he will read it. And that is an example of personal communication. Likewise, we have these telephones, then mobile phones, emails. Okay, then another one, we have mass communication. Mass communication is again subdivided into this electronic media and print media. We have examples of electronic media like radio, television, films, then the internet. Print media, we have newspaper, magazines, periodicals. Okay, so this is the summary of different means of communication or types of communication. Now let us go to the text. Here, personal communication and mass communication, including television, radio, press, films, etc., are the major means of communication in the country. Okay, and you must know that the Indian Postal Network is the largest in the world. Indian Postal Service, okay, Indian Postal Network, India Post, is the largest in the world. It handles parcels as well as personal written communication. That means the Indian Postal Network or Indian Postal Services handle parcels, goods, as well as this personal written communication. That means letters. Cards and envelopes are considered first class mail and are airlifted between the stations, covering both lane in the air. Okay, this carton envelope, that means letters, are considered first class mail and are airlifted, carried by the these aeroplanes, and can be kept. These covering these lifting will be from the stations, bought from lane in the air. Okay, covering bought lane in the air. Then the second class mail include book packets, then registered newspapers and periodicals, and these are carried by surface mail covering lane water transport. Okay, remember, carton envelope, carton letters are known as first class mail and are airlifted, okay, between station covering both lane in the air. And the second class mail include books, packets, registered newspaper and periodicals, and they are carried by surface mail, by trains, by trucks and other covering lane and water transport. Then to facilitate quick delivery of emails in large towns and cities in India, 6 mail channels have been introduced in the country. Okay, and they are called, that means those 6 mail channels are called Rajdhani channel, Metro channel, okay, then Green channel, Business channel, Bulk mail channel and Periodical channel. So these are the 6 mail channels that have been introduced in India, in the big cities of India, okay, to facilitate quick delivery of mails. Okay, any question? Are you clear or not? Here in this box, one information is given. Let us read. Digital India is an umbrella program to prepare India for a knowledge-based transformation. Okay, the focus of Digital India program is on being transformative to realize. That is, IT. Here it implies Indian talent plus IT, that is information technology, is equal to IT, that is India tomorrow. Okay, IT plus IT is equal to IT. That means India talent plus information technology is equal to India tomorrow. Okay, the future India, and is on making technology central to enabling change. So this is an important information. So let us continue. So India has one of the largest telecom networks in Asia. Excluding urban places, more than 2/3 of villages in India have already covered with subscriber trunk dialing, that is STD, telephone facility. Okay, STD, here we have an example also. See, emergency call box on National Highway 8. Okay, this is also an example of this STD. Here STD stands for subscriber trunk dialing. Okay, so this is about long distance calls. Suppose if you are calling your friend living in Delhi, Mumbai, that means you are dialing this one, STD one. Okay, you are using this STD facility. And if you are calling your friends in USA, then Canada, that means you are using the services of ISD. Okay, international subscribers dialing, that is known as ISD. And if you are calling your friends say in Impal or Thawal, that means you are using these local calls. Okay, in order to strengthen the flow information from grassroots to the higher level, the government has made special provision to extend 24 hours STD facility to every village in the country. As already mentioned, 2/3 of the villages in India have already connected with the STD facility. Okay, and it's still going on to connect the remaining villages also. And there is a uniform rate of STD facilities all over India, and it has made possible by integrating the development in space technology with communication technology. So we have the same rate of STD facilities. If you call anywhere in India, then the rate of call is the same. Okay. Next, we have this mass communication, as we discussed earlier. Okay, so we are here. Personal communication we have finished, and we are going to start mass communication. And here, mass communication provides entertainment and create awareness among people about various national programs and policies. So mass communication includes, as we learned earlier, radio, television, newspaper, magazine, books, and films. All India Radio, also known as Akashvani, broadcasts a variety of these programs in national, regional, and local languages for various categories of people spread over different parts of the country. So All India Radio is broadcasting different varieties of programs for different categories of people. So they are broadcasting programs for the farmers, okay, and for the healthcare also they are broadcasting, for education also. So for different categories of people, they are broadcasting different types of programs. Okay. And Doordarshan, the national television channel, of India, is one of the largest terrestrial network in the world. And Doordarshan broadcasts, okay, Doordarshan broadcasts a variety of programs from entertainment, educational to sport, etc. for different age groups. Okay, so like radio, Doordarshan also is also broadcasting different varieties of program ranging from entertainment to educational, okay, to sports for different age groups. And India publishes a large number of newspapers and periodicals annually, and they are of different types depending upon their periodicity. That means we have periodicals, magazines like weekly, okay, weekly magazines, then fortnightly, then monthly magazines or periodicals, or bi-monthly like that. Okay, they are of different types depending on their periodicity. Newspapers are published in about 100 languages and dialects in India, and you must know that the largest number of newspapers published in the country are in Hindi. Okay, the largest number of newspapers published in the country are in Hindi, followed by English and Urdu. India is the largest producer of feature films in the world. It produces short films, video feature films, then video short films, okay, and the Central Board of Film Certification is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films. I think whenever a movie is started, you may see such type of these certificates. Okay, this is the certificates given by the Central Board of Film Certification. Okay, so this is the authority to certify the film, as given as mentioned in the book. Okay, this is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films, whether the movie is for the adult or for the universal one. It is certified by this authority. Okay. Up to here, any question from your side? Are you clear? Okay, let us proceed. If you don't have questions, then next we have international trade. I think meaning of international trade or meaning of trade you might have learned earlier in economics classes also. Trade, you know, this is the exchange of goods and ideas, services among people, states and countries. Okay, it refers to the exchange of goods and services among the people, among the states and the countries. So generally, we have two important types of trade. One is the domestic, another one is the international trade. Okay, domestic trade is also known as internal trade. And so here, if the trading is done, if the exchange of goods is done within the country, that is from one state to another state, we call it domestic or internal trade. And if the exchange of goods and ideas is done between the countries or among the countries of the world, we call it international trade. The market is the place where such exchanges take place, and the trade between two countries is called international trade. Okay, actually international trade is again subdivided into two, bilateral and multilateral. Okay, if the trading is done between two countries, it is known as bilateral. And if the trading is done among the countries of the world, that means multilateral. Say for example, if India is doing trade with USA, with Canada, with Japan, then with Arabian countries, that is called multilateral trade. Okay, so trade may take place through sea, air and land routes, while local trade is carried in cities, towns and villages. State level trade is carried between two or more states. So international trade may be taken place through sea routes, air routes and land routes. And we have other types of trades, like local trade that is carried out in the towns, cities and villages. And we have state level trade also carried between two or more states. So these are the different types of trade mentioned in our book. Advancement in the international trade of a country is an index of its economic prosperity. That means higher the volume of trade, higher the development of the economy. Okay, and it is therefore considered the economic barometer of a country. So trade is considered the economic barometer of a country. As I told you, higher the volume of trade, higher the prosperity. That is the point. And as the resources are space bound, no country can survive without international trade. That means resources are not uniformly distributed over the earth's surface. Some countries are rich in a particular resource. Some other countries are rich in others. Some countries are poor. And that is why we need this exchange of goods at the international level. That means international trade is an essential activity, since resources are not uniformly distributed. For example, one country may rich in petroleum, another country may rich in iron ore, but lack in petroleum. So in that case, we need international trade. Okay. Export and import are the components of trade. These are the two important components of trade. And the balance of trade of a country is the difference between its export and the import. Okay, so what do you mean by balance of trade? Balance of trade is the difference between export and the import. Okay, just it is here. Balance of trade is equal to this export minus import. Okay, balance of trade is the difference between export and import. And we have two types of balances. The first one is favorable balance of trade. When the value of export when the value export exceeds the value import, it is called favorable balance of trade. That means we will get the profit. Okay, see here, we have two types of trade. One is the favorable Okay, favorable balance of trade. In this case, say exports, okay, exports will be greater than imports. In this case, we will get the profit. Export is we are selling more than the buying. Okay, we sell more than the buying process. Then we have another one, unfavorable balance of trade. Here in this case, here export is less than, okay, is less than this import. In this case, we are losing, okay, we are losing as mentioned here. So on the contrary, if the value of import exceeds the value of export, it is termed as unfavorable balance of trade or negative balance of trade. Okay, if the value of import exceeds the value of export, it is termed as unfavorable balance of trade or negative balance of trade. In this case, we will be lost because we buy, okay, more than the sell. So these are the two important types of balance of trade. And let us continue. India has trade relations with all other major trading blocs. What do you mean by trading bloc? Any idea? India has trade relation with all the major trading blocs. So here trading blocs means a type of international, a type of intergovernmental, okay, not international, a type of intergovernmental agreement or organization where barriers to trade like tariffs and other taxes are reduced or eliminated, not taken among the participating states. Okay, so trading blocs, so this is an organization of some countries, okay, regional organization where there is free trade. Okay, and see, we have some examples. We have some examples of these trading blocs. For example, here we have a map. So here, North American Free Trade Agreement. This is an example. Okay, then we have a European Union. Okay, then we have this Eurasian Economic Community. We have the CIS. Okay, another name of it is CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States. And here we have this Asian, okay, Asian, that is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And we have SAARC, okay, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Likewise, we have Latin American Integration Association, okay, and we have OPEC, that is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, okay, here. So these are some examples of the trading blocs. And India has trade relation with all the major trading blocs in the world and all geographical regions of the world. The commodities exported from India to other countries include gems and jewelry, then chemicals and related products, agriculture and allied products. So these are the items exported, that means sold to the other countries. Okay, then the commodities imported to India include petroleum, crude petroleum and products, then gems and jewelry, chemicals and related products, base metals, electronic items, machinery, agriculture and allied products. So these are the items purchased, okay, by India from the other countries. See, many items are there, including these crude petroleum and the products, then these chemicals, then metals, okay, then electronic items, maybe mobile phones, laptops, computers, then machinery, agriculture and allied products. India has emerged as a software giant at the international level, and it is earning large foreign exchange through the export of information technology. Okay, India is famous in developing softwares, okay, and is selling to the foreign countries, and in this way we are earning a lot of foreign exchange. Okay, so this is about trade. And before we start tourism as a threat, any question from your side? Are you clear? Any question? Okay, if you don't have questions, then let us start. Let us proceed. Tourism as a threat. Do you know the meaning of tourism? Tourism refers to travel for pleasure, or in other words, okay, the act and the process of spending time away from home in pursuit of recreation, relaxation, and pleasure while making use of the commercial provision of services is known as tourism. Okay, so tourism means traveling for pleasure, traveling for recreation. Sometimes it may be combined with other activities also. Okay, so tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. Tourism in India has been developing over the last 30 years. Okay, and here in this paragraph, in this small paragraph, you'll find the significance of tourism, economic significance or the importance of tourism to the economy of India. Okay, see here, more than 15 million people are directly engaged in tourism activities. More than 15 million people are directly employed by the tourism industry. Okay, so it tells the significance. Tourism also promotes national integration, provides support to local handicrafts and cultural pursuits. Okay, so when tourists are coming to our place, then we can sell our local products, we can sell our local handicrafts and other products, and our this culture also will be known by the other people. Okay, and tourism also helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. As I told you, okay, when the tourists are coming to our place, then okay, they will know about our culture, okay, our habit and about our handicrafts and about our products and about our unique identity. So in this way, tourism helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and the heritage. Okay, so foreign tourists visit India for heritage tourism, eco-tourism, then adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, and business tourism. So these are the important types of tourism. Okay, what do you mean by heritage tourism? See, heritage tourism means traveling to experience the places, artifacts, and the activities that authentically represent the stories and the people of the past and the present. Okay, traveling to experience the places, artifacts, and activities that authentically represent the stories and the people of the past and the present. And ecotourism, what does it mean? Ecotourism refers to responsible travel, okay, responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment, sustains the well-being of the local people, and involves interpretation and education. Okay, that is called ecotourism. So ecotourism refers to the travel to natural areas, okay, to conserve the environment, to sustain the well-being of the local people, and to educate the local people about the environment. Then adventure tourism. So it is a type of tourism in which tourists do some adventures, like these adventure activities like the skydiving, hill climbing, rock climbing, scuba diving. Okay, that is called adventure tourism. Then we have cultural tourism, that is movement of persons or traveling, okay, for essentially cultural motivation. That is traveling of persons traveling for essentially cultural motivations, such as study tours, then performing art and cultural tours, then travel to festivals. Okay, so this is an example of cultural tourism. So cultural tourism refers to traveling for cultural motivations. Okay, then medical tourism, here traveling outside the country of residence for the purpose of receiving medical care, that is a medical treatment. When traveling is combined with medical treatment, we call it medical tourism. Okay, then the last one is business tourism. So here business tourism refers to leisure activities in conjunction with business travel. That means when traveling is combined with business activities, we call it business tourism. So these are the different types of tourism. Okay, and about India, there is a vast potential for development of tourism in all parts of the country. Okay, India has many scenic beauty areas. Okay, we have beautiful lakes and other water bodies like lagoons, okay, backwaters, then lakes on the mountains, in the valleys, and we have these other places, historical places, and we are rich in culture and heritage also. Okay, so we have a vast potential for the development of tourism, and efforts are being made to promote different types of tourism for this upcoming industry. Here industry means tourism. Okay, tourism is a type of industry, so it involves so many other activities in addition to the traveling, because traveling promotes everything. So this tourism promotes, as we learned earlier, local handicrafts and cultural product pursuits. Then it also gives employment indirectly to other people. Okay, so we have to accommodate the tourists, okay, by constructing hotels. So in that way we are getting money. That means we are employed indirectly by providing accommodation facilities. And another way of this way of employment, okay, made by tourism, is that we have to make transport and communication facilities to the tourists also. Okay, we have to provide these vehicles, taxis for them. So in this way we are indirectly employed. Okay, and so this is one of the fastest growing industry, not only in India but in the world also. Okay, and that is why it is known as an industry, a type of industry. Okay, are you clear, boys and girls? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, this is the last part of this chapter and the end of the syllabus. Thank you very much for joining my class.